Hi, and welcome to the October edition of the Mayor's Corner. And today, the mayor, we have a special guest with us.
Yes, we do.
Jermaine Dickens, who is the Wayne County Campaign Manager for Citizens for Connecting Communities. Did I say that right?
You said it absolutely right.
Well, good. Tell us what that's all about.
Well, what we're talking about is our ability in this region to finally connect our communities. We're talking of 4 counties: Wayne County, Oakland County, Washtenaw County, as well as Oakland County. And we're talking about connecting 26 miles within those communities through mass transit efforts. So this is something that we've kicked around in this region for more than 50 years, and we're right on the threshold of making that happen. So we think it's a positive thing for all of these communities put together. It allows us to move people to their appointments, to schools, to work, to all of those places, so everybody has a little bit to benefit from the RTA and connecting our communities.
Now, I know, Mayor, you've had people come to you and say, we have to send out buses to bring our people into work. How does this fit into our plan?
Well, and I appreciate Jermaine being here today, because this is a topic, it's not a new topic, I guess, and even going back to my background in business, traveling around the country, if you look at other large communities like Detroit, like Boston, like Chicago, other, Seattle, we're way behind in mass transit. And one of the things that I hear from our business people, back to your question, is we need to be able to provide other avenues of transportation to get people to, we're obviously right here, transportation mecca, right?
Sure.
We've got the airport and we've got freeways, but we have businesses that have said to me, for them to bring in a workforce in some cases, it would help them by having mass transit to be able to get people to Romulus for some of those jobs. Right now, some of them have to try to find ways on their own to bus employees in.
Right.
So it's a great opportunity there, and because we're blessed with being right here between Ann Arbor and Detroit, and we have a lot of transportation, we're known for it. That's why I'm very much interested and in support of seeing us increase our ability to get people around our Southeast Michigan region. So it comes up a lot with business, comes up a lot with individuals, particularly seniors. It comes up a lot with also.
Sure. Speaking of seniors, Mr. Mayor, this is an opportunity to allow seniors to be far more independent in their daily lives. We don't have the same senior citizens that we used to have that
right,
sit in a rocking chair and with a quilt over their lap and flipping through channels of knitting, crocheting. They're very active. And they don't like relying on people to take them to the places that they want to go. They want to be able to go out and pick their grandchildren up and take them out on an excursion. So bus rapid transit, the RTA, and the different opportunities within that allows seniors to be far more independent. And they've been very excited about the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things I've noticed when I've looked at the maps, you've got your main branch that's going to run like between Detroit, Ypsilanti, and Ann Arbor.
That's right.
And then you have a branch that's coming off going right into Metropolitan Airport.
That's right.
Which is very nice for the people coming in from there, because everybody knows what it's like. It's great to fly in a plane, but you got to get there in the first place.
That's exactly
right.
But
here in Romulus, we're also looking, is there going to be a way that I can go down there and hop on the return bus?
Yeah, you can. It's 2 ways, twice a day, that you can get from this area right to the airport and back. So when you talk about employees at the airport that need to get in here into this area, it's far more convenient for them. I mean, you have folks that are probably even riding bicycles to and from that area to get to these jobs. And that's what mass transit is about, really, the opportunity to create jobs and more importantly, the ability to create reliable transportation to get people to those jobs.
That came up in some meetings I had with the airport management. I was surprised that actually on the airport, because we're a community of 24,000, 18,000 people every day go to work at just the airport. That's astonishing.
Wow.
They have a parking area for bicycles for people that are trying to get, year round, they're riding bicycles to get to work. So it's not just a connector piece just for travelers. And a lot of people think that, well, if it's going to go to the airport, that's not really helping us.
Right.
No, that's helping individuals for employment.
That's right.
And when you think of 18,000 people that are working there, that's a huge number. It's really a city within a city.
Yeah.
And that would benefit those individuals. And I know the airport's behind it because obviously it opens up more avenues to get to and from the airport.
Yeah, and then also a very new element to the RTA. It'll create a new bus traveling up Eureka to Fort to get people to and from Detroit. So for those people who work downtown Detroit, there's an opportunity to do that. But then there's also, it opens up opportunities for parking rides. Everybody knows that the drive into work is probably the most stressful time of the day. Why not park your car, jump on a bus, ride into downtown Detroit? You don't have to worry about the incredibly increasing parking rates that are taking place downtown, and take that level of stress off your day right off the top. I think it's a great opportunity.
Sure.
What do you say to, just hypothetically, the mayor and myself, we live here, this is where we work, why do we want to have this system, if we don't use it for our livelihoods?
Well, we just talked about a couple of examples where many people do use it for their livelihoods, but, there are also a plethora of opportunities that really fit into our social lives. How about riding into Detroit without driving to a Lions game or to a Red Wings game, a Tigers game?
Everybody knows what the parking's like.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
I talked about parking rates on a regular day. Just try to come down and find a good place to park for a Tigers game under $20 and $30.
You're right. You're right.
So that's a good opportunity. And then what you find is that the travel, the commute into downtown for those games become a part of the experience itself. Mm-hmm. So it's really a fun opportunity. It's very efficient, and it's very cost efficient.
Sure. I agree with you on the point about one thing that's been very pleasing to see is kind of the rebirth in Detroit.
Yes.
But if it just stays in Detroit and it's tougher for people to get there, this gives another avenue for people to go to entertainment. They're building a new hockey arena.
Yeah.
Now we've got two state-of-the-art, basically professional baseball and football stadiums in the whole region. And now it just opens up more opportunities for good, safe entertainment and someone that can get on a line, go down, come back. And I know nowadays a big thing you hear about is Uber and other ways to do that. This is a way that you can go as a large group even and have a good quality time and then get back safely. And it's really not available right now.
Yeah, and Uber can be costly too,
Absolutely.
When you're going from that kind of a distance. But, here's an interesting thing, though. You think about the new economy is a regional economy, and you talk about the growth that's taking place downtown Detroit. Detroit is not that far from being landlocked. So what you find is the economy starts to build out. So that creates different economic opportunities, for places like Romulus as well. Businesses, small businesses like my business and many business owners that I know can't afford to have offices downtown. They much rather be in a more calm community where people can connect to those through mass transit, and transportation is not the impediment to getting to those places. Yep.
I think it's really amazing, like you say, I think just for somebody like me, the downtown thing, being a sports fan, being like to be entertained, and that's a great thing. But okay, I want to go to Oakland County.
Yeah.
So I just goes right out there, right?
Yeah. So, again, this connects 2,600 miles within this four-county region, and the opportunities are limitless. All you have to do is have the spirit to get out and explore, and the patience, of riding, the bus, that you don't have to deal with the traffic and all that. It's really an opportunity to be more efficient, carefree, have a little bit more fun when you're talking about the sporting opportunities and other entertainment. You got to also think about the Opera House, Detroit Symphony, the DIA,
right?
All those things that, that are downtown, and now they're well within your grasp and in your reach without dealing with the traffic and without dealing with the parking.
I think it's a tremendous thing for everybody. And let me ask you this: what resistance have you run into? And I know there was a time when, like in Oakland County, Macomb County, the county executives were just saying, "No, we don't want this." without even going to the people. Now we had that little uprising, didn't
Yeah,
we, of, some,
yeah,
of the people
yeah.
saying, wait a minute, let us decide
That's
that.
right. Because listen, people in this region have been to other cities. We are the last. We're dead last when it comes to metropolitan areas and what we spend in mass transit. Residents in Oakland are the same as residents in Wayne, Macomb, and Washington. They want to have the opportunity, the convenience of mass transit like they do when they go to Philly, when they go to Washington, D.C., when they go to Chicago. I think that they recognize more so than people that deal in politics recognize more so how mass transit really, really connects communities. It breaks down so many barriers between our own neighbors from one county to the next. It brings people together in many ways and creates different experiences and lifelong relationships. Some of your best friends are created on a ride into a ball game or into, going to see a show somewhere.
Now, I guess we should mention that this is going to be on the ballot during the presidential election
Yes.
on November the 8th.
That's right.
Let's assume for a moment that it passes. Now, this is a millage.
This is a millage.
Okay. Now, what's it going to cost me?
So it's a 1.2 mils is what it's going to cost. So the average household throughout the 4 counties, we're talking $8 a month. So we're talking $96 a year to create the economic growth, the jobs, the convenience of the parks and rides, and the rides into downtown. So it's not a ton, and quite frankly, it's long overdue. And basically, our young people they clamor for this. Everywhere else that they visited, they have this opportunity. So, we're not only doing it for ourselves, people who are active and have places to go, Mr. Mayor, like yourself. I'm sure you crisscross this region all the time in your daily life as mayor. But those who just want to utilize it to have fun, to seek entertainment opportunities, it's there. So not only do we do it for ourselves, we do it for our children.
What's this mean to Romulus overall? I mean, we just got just coming in the airport, a couple stops, it's going back out. But what's it mean? What's it mean to
Well,
us?
I think 2 major points it means to us, Dennis, is that number one, when you've heard us talk about the home of opportunity as our branding, our tagline, because we have undeveloped land, commercial, industrial, residential. So to attract and bring people in, let's say when we get more retail shopping, the avenue to bring more people to our area to make that successful, that's both important to the businesses and to our residents who are asking for it. When we're meeting with people that want to build here, they want to build their businesses here in Romulus, to draw the talent. The young people, the millennials, they don't want to own cars. My daughter, she's graduating from University of Michigan this year. She wants to be transported. She doesn't want to drive. A lot of millennials, they want an access point, and to get the talent in, these businesses are saying they want mass transit. They're used to it in other major markets. So when they're scouting for kids out of college, they want to go places where they don't have to drive. They don't have to pay $70 to park.
That's right.
They want to jump in, get a ticket, go, and then get to point A to point B easily in a fun, safe environment. So for the development, for this opportunity that we have in Romulus to capitalize on that, for both shopping and just regular businesses to draw talent. We're right in an area, Ann Arbor, major university, Wayne State. We're kind of known for having a lot of educational facilities. So what that can draw potentially is research and development companies. Research and development companies, particular, when they're competing for talent, they're not just competing with the big universities here, but all over the country. And if we are the last in spending on mass transit, that doesn't help us have a competitive advantage to bring that talent here. And guess what? When that talent's here, they're going to be spending their income on other areas, on shows, on entertainment, on shopping. So those are 2 major points. It's just a win-win. I would ask our residents to really get the facts, check it out. What they're talking about as far as an investment, is very, very reasonable. And what it could open up as far as opportunities for our community is just huge.
Yeah, and when you talk about, bringing the millennials in, mass transit opportunities here also keeps us from losing our millennials.
Defensively.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because the brain drain in Michigan has been real for far too long. So we have to create the opportunities to keep our talent homegrown. Therefore, we get to keep our family units closer together. I mean,
Sure.
who wants their grandkids living on the other side of the country just because, their children left out because we're dead last and moving people from place to place and
great
giving them
point.
that convenience.
I think what's going to happen too is it's once you've experienced it, and it actually becomes a part of your life. I lived in the Chicago area for 4 years, and I know that when the Tigers were at Comiskey Park and I'm in Evanston, I hopped on the
Right.
L and
That's right.
and went right by Wrigley Field to go to Comiskey Park,
Right.
and so much of it, you go downtown, you go to the Loop, you don't drive a car.
Yeah.
In Chicago, it's like Detroit. You get downtown, parking's a premium,
Yeah.
at an absolute premium.
Whenever I travel quite a bit, and wherever I go, I never rent a car. I hate driving in foreign cities 'cause I don't know where I'm
Yeah.
going. You don't
Sure.
know the traffic environment and patterns, and so I always use mass transit whenever I go. I mean,
Yeah.
when I go to Philly, I don't even see the outside of the airport. I jump right on the train and go into the city, and from that point, I'm on mass transit the whole time I'm away. And only in Detroit where you're unable to do that.
That's a great point. We were talking to some business people that they wanted to be in this region because of the airport, and obviously we have one of the largest international
That's right.
airports. So with the cultural change, people come into our country, they're reluctant to rent a car
That's
and
right.
want to know and jump on an I-94 and know which ramp to get on and which way
That's
to go.
right.
Yep.
This way they come in, they look at their map, it's predetermined. Okay, I want to go downtown.
That's right.
Okay, I have meetings in Ann Arbor. Okay, I need to get to Oakland County. Here's where I go. And it's much less stressful. It's safer for them. And the businesses have told us that would help them. That would help them do business here because we are an international hub.
That's right.
And it'd be another good avenue to promote business and good, safe transportation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Jermaine. Thank you, Mayor. Jermaine Dickens, who is the Wayne County Campaign Manager for the Citizens for Connecting the Communities. We appreciate you stopping by and talking to us about this important project. I think the citizens need to know, the good of a system or even the faults of the system, and so they can make up their minds. And we thank you for your insight on this exciting possibility.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. We do think that this is transformative. If we can make something like this happen in our region, and cities like Romulus and other neighboring communities are critical to making that happen. So, Mr. Mayor, we appreciate your support and your leadership
problem.
as well.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. I wholeheartedly endorse this effort, and I just ask the citizens to do their part. Thank you.
This has been the October edition of the Mayor's Corner. Join us again next month as we bring you into November, and the exciting holiday season's coming up. So join us in November right here on Mayor's Corner with Mayor Leroy Burcroft.